Mick Mulvaney. Mick, it's great to have you back on. Mick, you heard that report. It feels like this is the new abnormal. No negotiating spending cuts, yes to tax hikes. When spending has more than tripled in just the last 15 years to $31 trillion. Instead, we have Pelosi attacking Kevin McCarthy, multiple votes to be speaker. That's what they're focused on?
Yeah, Liz, thanks for having me. Congrats on the new show. Yeah, it's hard to know where to start with this debt ceiling discussion. You don't have a revenue problem. Revenues have been growing faster than the population, faster than household incomes, faster than the GDP. You've got record revenues even after adjusting for inflation. So you don't have a revenue problem. The issue is just spending is just going up even faster than revenues are going up. So you've got that issue to deal with. But the thing that really sticks in my mind is this attitude that the Democrats feel like they can't negotiate. They don't want to negotiate. They say that there's nothing to be gained by negotiating. That's just not how Washington works, especially when one party has control of one house in Congress or one party has control of the other. It's almost like they're daring people to default on the debt, which makes absolutely no sense whatsoever. So my guess, it's an educated guess, is this is the first marker laid down by the Democrats. They know they have to negotiate at least a little bit, and you're going to start to see this discussion play out over the next couple of months.
It's a heck of a marker. I mean, the American people don't work for the Democrat Party. The Democrat Party works for the American people. And now, Mick, you've got Senator Manchin saying he may leave the Democrat Party. There's talk of that. But this news, Mick, what was your reaction when you heard 42 House Democrats proposing a new bill to get rid of the debt ceiling entirely? They want to spend their way out of it. That's not a plan. So after all that pandemic fraud, does anyone want to explain to the American people where all that money they paid for disappeared to? Vice President Harris doling out money in Central America. Who's tracking the money? This is out of control.
Yeah, they want to try and track it, at least the Republicans do in the House, and they face obstacles at every single turn. Look, the Democrats have been trying for years to sort of make you think that there's nothing here to see, that spending is easy and magic and it's free and it doesn't cost people anything. There's a reason we have a debt ceiling law, Liz. It's that we knew 50 years ago that you had to get together every now and then and raise the debt ceiling. Why are we doing this? Why are we getting more in debt? And if this is a really good idea, there's a reason we have this law on the books.
And is it too churlish, or is it necessary to fact check the president's dubious economic claims? He's about to do his State of the Union. He's now taking credit for things like inflation dropping, when inflation is now 5 times versus when he took office. Even Obama's former top advisor, Jason Furman, saying what you hear out of the president is like these leaps of logic you usually get from Biden during election seasons. I mean, we've got ABC, Ipsos, and they're saying we don't approve of the president. Majority of Americans disapprove of the president on inflation, taxes, and even gas.
Yeah, I used to tell President Trump that presidents get blamed for a bunch of stuff they're not responsible for, and they get credit for stuff that they're not responsible for. But they can't have it both ways. Biden has said all the way up, when inflation was going up every single day, he's saying it's not my fault. But when it's coming down, he's trying to take credit for it. You can't have it both ways. And I think people see that. I hope at the State of the Union, we tried really hard when we wrote those State of the Union speeches to make sure that they would survive the fact checkers. And I hope the mainstream media fact checks Biden as thoroughly as they did Trump during his speeches, and we'll see how it holds up under that type of scrutiny.
Well, they're going to have to get their own relief spending. I'm kidding. They're going to have to get overtime pay because you know what I mean, Mick?
Not kidding. No, you're not kidding. There's actually a proposal like that during COVID to bail out media companies during COVID.
Man.
So no, I know that's tongue in cheek, but that was actually floated.
Okay. Well, I'm glad it was just tongue in cheek, Mick. It's our job to do it, right, Mick? All right. It's good to see you. Come back soon.